1996, US Department of Justice, 2,713 women are being raped every day. Every 32 seconds, one woman is being raped. I've been raped in US until the time I'm here.
Islam has the solutions to the problems of the West.
Glory be to Allah, all praise to Allah. There is no God but Allah, Allah is great. All power and might belong to Allah, the Most High, the Great.
We made peace a symbol of ours. In the name of peace we gather here now. Oh Lord, please make these days of ours on this earth filled with peace.
Bismillahir-Rahmanir-Rahim. We begin today's program with the Qiraat, the recitation from the Holy Quran by Brother Ashraf Muhammadi.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قد أفلح المؤمنون الذين هم في صلاتهم خاشعون والذين هم عن اللغو معرضون والذين هم للزكاة فاعلون والذين هم لفروجهم حافظون إلا على أزواجهم أو ما ملكت أيمانهم فإنهم غير ملومين فمن ابتغى وراء ذلك فأولئك هم العادون والذين هم لأمانتهم وعهدهم راعون والذين هم على صلاتهم يحافظون أولئك هم الوارثون الذين يرثون الفردوس هم فيها خالدون صدق الله العظيم. The translation from Surah Al-Mu'minun, chapter 23, verses 1 to 11. I seek refuge with Allah from Satan the accursed. In the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful. The believers must eventually win through. Those who humble themselves in their prayers, who avoid vain talk, who are active in deeds of charity, who abstain from sex except with those joined to them in the marriage bond, or the captives whom their right hands possess, for in their case they are free from blame. But those whose desires exceed those limits are transgressors, those who faithfully observe their trusts and covenants, and who strictly guard their prayers. This will be the heirs who will inherit paradise. They will dwell therein forever. Verily, Allah has spoken the truth.
Respected brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum. May peace be on you. On behalf of the Islamic Research Foundation, I, Dr. Muhammad Naik, welcome all of you to today's program. The Islamic Research Foundation strives for Islamic Dawah, the proper presentation, clarification, and understanding of the message of Islam, as well as removing misconceptions about Islam amongst less aware Muslims as well as non-Muslims. Reason, logic, and modern scientific understanding are the basis of all its presentations. The regular programs of the Islamic Research Foundation include organizing public lectures, followed by open question and answer sessions, symposia, open forum interactions, and such programs. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept our striving in His way and grant us more opportunities and will to serve His deen dedicatedly. Ameen. Dr. Zakir Naik is the president of the Islamic Research Foundation. Dr. Zakir has left his medical profession to devote himself wholeheartedly in spreading the truth of Islam, as well as removing misconceptions about Islam amongst non-Muslims as well as less aware Muslims, especially through his public talks and TV programs the world over. He is appreciated more so for his convincing answers to challenging questions posed by audiences and critics at his public talks. Salaah is the most important pillar of Islam, after Iman or faith. Salaah is the Arabic term for the Muslim prayer, which is commonly known as namaz in Urdu. Today, Dr. Zakir will present the Islamic perspective and concept of Salaah and its objectives in his talk on Salaah, the programming towards righteousness. Brothers and sisters, Dr. Zakir Naik.
Alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalam, ala rasulillah, wa ala alihi, wa sahbihi ajmain. Amma ba'd, a'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, bismillahir rahmanir rahim, utlu ma uhiya ilayka minal kitabi, wa aqimis salata, inna salata, tanha anil fahsha'i wal munkar. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim, rabbi shrah li sadri, wa yassir li amri, wahlul uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. My respected elders and my dear brothers and sisters, I welcome all of you with the Islamic greetings. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May peace, blessings and mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala be on all of you. The topic of this morning's talk is Salaah, the programming towards righteousness. Most of the people, they translate Salaah into English as the prayer. The prayer is not the exact translation of the Arabic word Salah, because to pray means to beseech, to ask earnestly, like how you pray or beseech in a court of law. To pray means to supplicate, to ask for help. The dua is the supplication, the prayer. Salah is not merely to pray. It means much more than that. Because in Salah, besides asking for help from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we Muslims, we also praise Him. We also receive guidance from Him. And the Salah simultaneously is a sort of programming. It is a conditioning, or in layman's terminology, it is brainwashing. But if someone is going to offer Salah, and if a person asks him that, where are you going? And if he says he's going for brainwashing, or if he's going for programming, it will sound odd. Therefore, I personally do not mind if people use the word prayer for the Arabic word Salah. But they should remember that Salah is much more than merely to pray. The moment you hear the word programming, you start thinking of a computer. If you allow me to call the human being a machine, I would say it's the most complicated machine on the face of the earth. It is much more complicated than the most advanced computer in the world. And we human beings, we are the ashraful makhluqat, the best of creations of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the Holy Quran says in At-Teen, chapter number 95, verse number 4, لَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ فِي أَحْسَنِ تَقْوِيمٍ, that verily we have created the human beings in the best of molds. The psychologists, they tell us that our mind is not directly under our control. The body is directly under our control. If I want to lift my hand, I can lift it. If I want to bring it down, I can bring it down. If I want to take a step forward, I can take it. The body is directly under our control. But the mind is not directly under our control. Therefore, most of us, we might have experienced that while we offer salah, our mind keeps on wandering. And suppose if a student, after appearing for his examination, if he offers salah, he starts reviewing his examination paper in the salah. He starts thinking that the answer I gave to question 2, instead of this, I should have written that. If a businessman offers salah, he starts thinking that how much profit have I made today? How much goods did I sell? If a housewife, if she offers salah, she may start thinking that what should I cook for my husband? Should I cook biryani or should I cook pulao? It's very common that during salah, our mind keeps on wandering. Why does the mind wander? The reason is because our mind is empty. And a mind cannot remain empty. Therefore, it wanders.
Conquests and rebellions, victories and defeats, honor and betrayal, the noble and the wicked. Join me, Muhammad Tim Humble, on a journey of discovery through our Islamic path to find lessons for our Islamic future.
Perceive the unusual and consistent progress of Islam due to its unique attitude with the passage of time in Lessons from Islamic History, tonight at 8 p.m. and repeat telecast at 8:30 a.m. India on Peace TV.
A friendly message by Dr. Zakir. Way to salvation.
The way to salvation has been prescribed by our Creator in His last testament, the glorious Quran, in Surah Al-Asr, chapter number 103, verse number 1 to 3. Wal Asr, by time. Innal insana lafi khusr. Indeed, mankind is in loss. Illa allazina amanu, except those who have believed. Wa amilu salihat, and done righteous deeds. Wa tawasaw bil haqq, and advised each other to truth. Wa tawasaw bis sabr, and advised each other to patience. There are minimum 4 criteria required for any human being to enter Jannah, that is paradise. These are Iman, that is faith, Amal Salihat, that is righteous deeds, wa tawasaw bil haqq, that is advising each other to truth, that is Dawtul Islam, calling people to submit to God, and wa tawasaw bis sabr, advising each other to patience. Its significance has been emphasized by Imam Shafi, who said, if people were to ponder on the surah, it would have been sufficient for their salvation.
Peace TV, the solution for humanity.
Most of the Muslims, they know the basic things that we recite in our Salah. The Surah Fatiha and the few verses of the Holy Quran, or the short surahs of the Holy Quran, which we recite in the Salah. We Muslims, we recite it so mechanically that even if you wake up a Muslim from the middle of his sleep and ask him to recite Surah Fatiha, he can do it 100 miles per hour. It's mechanical. And because it is mechanical, only a minute portion of a mind is utilized in reciting the mechanical portion, which we know by heart. That is Surah Fatiha and the other verses of the Holy Quran. Most of us Muslims, since we are non-Arabs, we don't understand Arabic as a language. And because we don't understand what we are reciting in our Salah, there are high possibilities of our mind wandering. Therefore, to prevent our mind from wandering, we should recite the Arabic portion and simultaneously recall the meaning of the things you are reciting in the Salah. If you know English, recall the English translation. If you know Urdu, recall the Urdu translation. If you know Hindi, recall it in Hindi. If you know Marathi, recall it in Marathi. If you know Gujarati, recall it in Gujarati. Recall the meaning of the things you're reciting in the language you understand best. For example, when we recite Surah Fatiha, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, in the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Praise be to Allah, the Lord of the worlds. Ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, most merciful, most gracious. Maliki Yawmiddin, the master of the day of judgment. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'een. Thee alone we worship, thee alone we ask for help. Ihdina as-sirat al-mustaqim, show us the straight path. Ihdina as-sirat al-mustaqim, sirat al-lazina an'amta alayhim, ghayr al-maghdubi alayhim walad-dallin. The path of those who have earned thine favor, and of those whose path is not wrath, nor who go astray. When we recite the Surah Fatiha or the other verses in Arabic, simultaneously recall the meaning and your mind will not wander. Because, again, your mind is occupied in recalling the meaning of the Arabic portion that you're reciting in your Salah. But after a few weeks or few months, even this becomes mechanical. Your mind is very powerful. You recite the Arabic portion and recall the meaning because the mind is very powerful, and again there are chances your mind will divert. But there are less chances because a little portion of your mind is occupied in reciting the Arabic portion, and another portion of your mind is occupied in recalling the meaning. There are less chances it will divert, but yet it may wander. To prevent your mind from wandering, besides reciting the Arabic portion and recalling the meaning, you should even concentrate on what you are reciting and recalling. A human being cannot concentrate 100% on two different things. He can concentrate 50% on two different things, or 80%, 20%. But 100% on two different things, he can't concentrate. So the more you concentrate, the less your mind will wander. So to prevent your mind from wandering, you should recite the Arabic portion, recall its meaning, and concentrate on the meaning. Then inshallah, your mind will not wander. I started my talk by quoting a verse from the Holy Quran, from Surah Ankabut, chapter number 29, verse number 45, which says, Utlu ma uhiya ilayka min al-kitabi, wa aqim as-salata, inna as-salata tanha anil fahsha'i wal munkar. Which means, recite of what we have sent by inspiration of the book to thee, and establish regular prayers. For verily, prayers restrain you from shameful and unjust deed. The Holy Quran says that Salah restrains you from shameful and unjust deed. As I mentioned earlier, Salah is a sort of programming. It's a programming towards righteousness. And we Muslims, we are programmed 5 times a day in our Salah. And we ask for guidance from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Ihdina as-sirat al-mustaqim. Show us the straight path. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives the answers. He programs us towards righteousness. For example, the Imam, after Surah Fatiha, he may recite Surah Maida, chapter number 5, verse number 90, which says, Ya ayyuhal lazina amanu, O you who believe, innamal khamru wal maisiru, most certainly intoxicants and gambling, wal ansab wal azlamu, dedication of stones, divination of arrows, rishthum min amali shaitan, these are Satan's handiwork. Fashtanibu lalakum tuflihun. Abstain from these handiwork that you may prosper. Here we are being programmed in the Salah that you should abstain from intoxicants, from gambling, from idol worship, from fortune telling, because these are Satan's handiwork. The Imam, he may recite after Surah Fatiha, Surah Maida, chapter number 5, verse number 3, which says, Hurrimat alaykumul maitutu waddamu walahmul khinzir, wama uhilla li ghayrillah bih. Forbidden for you for food are dead meat, blood, the flesh of swine, and any food on which any name besides Allah has been invoked. Here we are being programmed in the Salah that the foods that you should never have, the forbidden foods are dead meat, blood, the flesh of swine, and any food on which any name besides Allah has been invoked on it. We are being programmed towards righteousness. The Imam, after Surah Fatiha, he may recite Surah Al-Isra, chapter 17, verse number 23-24, which says that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has ordained for you that you worship none but Him, and that you be kind to your parents. And if any one of them, or both of them, reach old age, do not say a word of contempt. Don't even say off to them. But address them with humility, and lower your wing of kindness to them, and pray to the Lord that have mercy on them as they cherished me in childhood. We are being programmed that we have to be good to your parents. And if any one of them, or both of them, reach old age, yet you should not even say off to them. We are being programmed in our Salah. The computer normally requires programming only once. But since the human mind has a free will of its own, which the computer doesn't have, the human beings have to be programmed regularly. Because the amount of wrong things we see around us in the society, like eavesdropping, bribing, cheating, robbing, alcoholism, drug addiction, molestation, there are high chances that our mind can get deprogrammed. Therefore, we have to be kept on being regularly programmed to keep us on the Sirat al-Mustaqim, on the straight path. Some people may ask that, why don't you offer Salah only once? Why offer 5 times a day? For a healthy body, a human being requires minimum 3 meals a day. If he has 1 meal a day, he will not have a very healthy body. Similarly, for a spiritual soul, a human being requires minimum 5 times of programming, 5 times of Salah. 1 is not sufficient. That's the reason we Muslims, we offer Salah 5 times a day. The Jews, they offer prayers 3 times a day, which is also mentioned in the Old Testament, in the book of Daniel, chapter number 6, verse number 10. We Muslims, we offer minimum 5 times salah every day. And it's a commandment of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala which has been given to all the Muslims. And it's mentioned in the Holy Quran in Surah Hud, chapter number 11, verse number 114. In Surah Isra, chapter 17, verse number 78. In Surah Taha, chapter number 20, verse number 130. And Surah Rum, chapter number 30, verse number 17 and 18. These few verses of the Holy Quran, they instruct the Muslims to offer salah 5 times a day. The 5 daily salahs which we Muslims should offer are the Fajr Salah, which begins from any time between the break of dawn till just before sunrise. The second is the Zuhr Salah, after the sun reaches its highest point, from the decline of the sun till the midpoint between noon and sunset. Third is the Asr Salah, after the Zuhr Salah ends until just before sunset. The fourth is the Maghrib Salah, immediately after sunsets till the end of twilight. And the Isha Salah, immediately after twilight, it can be offered before midnight. A Muslim should offer salah minimum 5 times a day,